it hurt a little that night, and then I woke up feeling all right.
Why was yours in kilometers? I still don't trust this.
Because I'm Euro. Before we begin, it's that time to mention a few great friends of the podcast. Gooder Sunglasses, everybody. Affordable, non-slip, polarized style for your face. Shouldn't have to skip on coffee just to be able to afford proper eye protection. Gooder has it all for on and off the bike. Indoor training, well, don't let the fans dry your eyes out. Gooder has glasses for every occasion and at around or under $35. They are now upgrading. They are offering prescription eyewear. I shit you not. Now, that's not going to be $35, but they're going to have prescription eyewear. Get to PackFiller, use the link, enter PackFiller15 in the discount code. Next off, Scratch Labs. Great tasting, easy digesting, high carb options. Oh, preview for coming attractions. For fueling your rides. Did I mention they also have bars, chews, and even cookie mix? They have cookie mix out right now. I got to get a bag because I got to try it. The absolute best in Scratch. Trust me. Tell them PackFiller sent you. And finally, Untapped Maple. Pure Vermont maple syrup is the base, and quick, great tasting energy is the reward. Truly a great way to fuel. Grab some packets or fill a flask. Untapped is brilliant. Use the PackFiller link, and let's do this, shall we? Yeah. Levels are a little... Can you hear that, David?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to make sure your precious little...
I'm
dainty.
preserving my hearing.
What?
What? Hang on.
Oh, God.
Let's Play Bikes. The first unofficial bike beer miles took place this weekend, and it was as ugly as a 200-pound man in a cheap white pair of bib shorts. Oh, we got a story for you guys.
I don't see.
All that and so much more in tonight's adventure from the Rim Break Bar, live on YouTube, now with an all-new studio bathroom. Dr. Tiny Tank can run back and forth as much as needed. We can almost put you on a lead, and so you just be chained to the studio and run back and forth.
I bet this would almost run all the way over.
It might. It might. Depends on your stream power.
I could do it.
This is the PackFiller Podcast. I'm Pat Bulger. Let's see who's here, shall we? Tonight's prologue question. Gentlemen, if you had a time machine, would you go into the past or into the future? And if you choose the past, when? What decade, what time period into the past? I guess I could say the same for the future. You could go into the future and pick what decade or time you chose, like when carbon fiber is replaced by, I don't know, bamboo. They're going to do that. It's going to replace carbon fiber. First off, he's actually saved by a stomach bug, Mr. Paul Maine.
How you guys doing?
Good, and you, man?
Good,
Everybody's staring at their documents because it's
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the magic recipe.
All right.
It's gone.
Paul? We'll get to the stomach bug, but if you had a time machine, past or forward?
Past.
Go
Definitely.
back to whatever it was
Really?
that you ate that day.
Yeah. I didn't eat.
It was
He'd go back to his generation,
It was that gas station
1800s.
sushi. Oh, Jesus. You sound like high school students, man. They're just like, were you around when cars were invented? Oh, you probably
used to ride to school on a horseback.
Yeah, the same shit.
Yeah.
Every kid.
Yep.
Yeah, like, go work on that act. So, what was it? Past. Which,
Yeah.
any decade?
Late 50s, early 60s.
Oh.
The Brat Pack was out. Life in the United
Rat
States
Pack.
was Rat Pack. Yeah.
Yeah, Brat Pack was
Yeah.
like Emilio
Not
Estevez
those, yeah,
and those
not-
guys.
not
yeah.
the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rat Pack. United States was just booming after the war. And
Yeah.
everything was good. Styles were great. Cars were just crazy fins and that type of thing. Skinny ties for guys.
Yeah.
Suits. Everybody, when you rode on an airplane, you wore a suit.
Yeah.
Women wore dress. I mean, there was class.
Men all drank like crazy, and nobody talked about how shitty their marriage was.
Yeah, that's right.
Women were
Yeah, that was a good time.
My parents were.
barely having rights
Yeah.
at that time.
It was a wonderful time.
It
to
wasn't
be
a
white-
perfect time.
A
by
white
any means.
male
Yes,
in
yes.
America, right?
And that, what am I?
Yeah, a white male. Oh my gosh, it's true though. I can't argue that.
All right, second off, he was saved by his iPad. Mr. Sam Waples.
That was so annoying.
We're gonna get
Like,
to that, but
yeah.
yeah.
Finally get pumped up for it, and then it's just... Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
I would go past as well. I'm an old soul.
You go past.
I
really?
would go past. Like,
Wow.
and I'm probably same era. Like,
Wow.
like the people, like, truly that I would choose to hang out with the most are in that, like, 60-plus category.
So
Like,
Paul.
Yeah. I mean, I make fun of him, but honestly, I believe the same stuff as him.
Sure. Okay.
Like, he and I get along great for all that stuff.
You're an old soul.
I'm an old soul. So
Okay.
I'd go back in the past.
There we go. Next off, he was close but fell to the master, Mr. David Waples. Do you get upset that I don't call you Dr. David Waples on the intro?
No,
Because I just don't want to. I don't want to stroke your ego, man. Give you a fucking god complex.
Do you
I don't think
introduce-
I don't think you'd want to be called.
Yeah, not
Really?
even a little.
Do you
You
introduce
don't?
yourself as doctor?
Well, in the hospital, yes.
That's
Yeah.
way different. But like casually, you're just
When-
going around like, oh hey, I'm Doctor
Hey, I
David.
just came off the street. Yeah.
outside
Call
of
me Dave.
outside of work, absolutely not. I'm
Yeah,
Dave.
yeah.
Dr. Dave Waples.
Yes, I also wear my white coat everywhere.
Lab coat.
Yeah. So,
Your license plate's like custom. It's just
yep,
like
a little stethoscope on it, something like that.
Dr. Wape.
Yep, DWAPs.
D-Wops. What's your time period?
Well, I was trying to think of something different than you guys because you both said the same thing. But like, to me,
Well, there's only two options. It's past or future.
Well,
I mean, you
50s
could choose.
and 60s though. Like, I would
mean-
go backwards, but it would be like 50s and 60s because like all of the I really like the way things used to be built. Like the cars used to be built. It's not that
The
they were better.
appliances.
Yeah, they just were. It was all different. Like 40s houses, 50s houses
Yeah.
with craftsmanship versus what we do nowadays. I just think there was like a difference in quality back then of the things that they did have, at least. Obviously, there's less in racism and sexism and all that stuff. But
For sure.
I just
Yeah.
think it's
But, like,
Yeah. We're not longing for the shitty
yeah,
parts.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
80s for like bike racing would be pretty sick.
yeah.
I would go back to that time in
You
particular
already
if we're
picked.
talking
You already
bike.
picked. You already
bike
picked.
stuff.
No, you already picked.
All right, fine.
It is a cycling podcast, and you guys all went back to the time when no Americans even owned bikes.
Racing in the 50s and 60s was great. Jean Concotil.
Yeah, but
Poulador.
not here.
No.
It was like, ride a bicycle? Never. That's what the children do.
Well, the Schwinns were pretty cool back then.
They were.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. Next off, I'm not going to pull any punches. He soft pedaled the whole damn thing, but quite wisely. Mr. Jackson Bolger, how are you, man?
I'm doing well, and I feel as if I did it with style. So
Oh,
I'll
that's
take
good.
that. Yeah,
That's
I mean, I
good.
still only barely beat you.
exactly. Tortoise in the hair type of stuff. Except
There we go.
in this
Yeah.
one, the tortoise lost. I think the time that I would like to go to, I would like to see. 80s was on my mind. I think I'd like
We're
to.
all going back?
I think that going forward is a dangerous game.
Might not be anything.
Step out of the
Yeah.
machine and
Zero.
it's just like wastelands. Oh,
Well,
shit.
yeah.
Take it back.
The sun could have like absorbed the earth at this point. So, I think I would like to go back to the 70s,
Okay.
just because like I
That
was
mustache.
I was just
exactly
gonna say it.
I'd fit in pretty well. But I don't know. I didn't really. I was born in '99,
Yeah,
so I didn't
yeah.
see anything like that. So I've only seen the 2000s, and that's a rough time already. So
70s were pretty cool.
70s
Yeah.
was pretty cool. Yeah.
so
Except I have to confess that I wore flare jeans, but I couldn't wear them for very long because I have pigeon toes. And when I would run,
You
I would
catch-
get my foot caught in my
That
own
sucks.
pants, and I would fall down.
yeah.
That's rough.
The saddest thing I've ever heard.
With your aqua
I would
socks.
come back. No, that was the 90s, you ass. This was the 70s, and I would come back from grade school with my pants torn up the side. The seam had ripped, and my mom's like, "What the hell are you doing?" I was like, "Running."
Playing with other kids.
I was just enjoying myself. And now I realize when Jackson's like, Jesus, you got a lot of depressing stories in your life. And I
do.
think I do.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I'm messed up.
Yeah, you never fit in.
I think there's a big word in your future, and it starts with Thera and it ends with pissed.
Just keep drinking. It'll go away.
Yeah, I'll just
That's
Shove
not
it all
true at
down.
all. Don't. This is not medical advice.
push it down. Just it'll go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, me, I basically showed everyone my religious background this weekend. I'm Pat Bulger, and I would travel back to the 80s. Not sure why. It was a great time for bike racing, but it was before tech. It was before all the, all the big nerdy stuff came in, and bikes were in centimeters.
Yep.
You could buy a 57 or a 57.5
Or
centimeter
59
frame,
or
a 59,
60,
yeah.
60.5.
Beautiful.
Wait,
Beautiful.
seriously?
Yo, shit, yeah. None of the small, medium, large
everything was
bullshit.
done, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I read a 61, but there's not like until a 58. There was like specific sizes like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a wonderful
Manufactured-
time.
Dave Moulton, he did a production line. He used to do custom bikes, but his production line was called Fuso. He started at 48 and went all the way up to 65, 1 centimeter increments.
Think about how much that would cost nowadays to do production, shipment, all that stuff. To just
Steel
do, like,
was
super specific.
Well,
sizes.
it wasn't cheap, but steel was. I mean, it's completely different than carbon.
Right.
So you can't do it with carbon. And
Yeah.
No.
it's couldn't do it.
I've built 3 steel frames in my life, and it is therapeutic. It is a beautiful
I can imagine.
process. It
I
is
beat
so
you.
cool.
I had 6
You did? Wow.
with Harry Gary.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
One was a show bike.
Yeah.
Made it down to Interval.
David was asking me about the Harry Gary the other day in the basement there. Yeah, okay.
I thought it was like a knockoff Gary Fisher.
No.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know, man.
And I looked at him, and I just looked at him, and I said, "Oh,
Did you hit him?
Oh, grasshopper!
Did you hit him?
You poor Jane, you ignorant slut."
Do you see what I had to
got
grow up with? This is
Paul
why
got that
I'm the way
reference.
I am. This is why I'm so mean and angry.
Isn't it also Dwight, you ignorant slut?
Yes.
No, that was taken from Jane, you
Jane.
ignorant slut from Saturday Night Live.
1970.
No, I know. I
70.
was saying, isn't it also?
It is
No,
also-
it's not.
It is also.
No,
It is
that is a
also.
reference. That's a callback
That's
joke.
a more
so it's not
famous
the same.
reference.
Well,
so it belongs to our generation. Yes. Go to hell.
I
Was
concur.
Yeah.
This is usually the time I'm asking about your training, but that is tied to a little bit of our mini topic later in the show. Besides, we have a landmark moment to talk about. The first ever Pack Filler Beer Mile came and happened. 4 miles, 4 beers, billions of burps. Paul, you were MIA, and was this truly something related to food, or were you strategically finding a way out of the event?
I like beer, so that wouldn't be it. I was looking forward to it. I really was. So, it's a shame. I really
morning
was
of.
disappointed.
So everybody knows, morning of,
so-
you woke up with a bug.
A little bit of a. I had intestinal. My wife's at home now, not feeling so good.
Yeah,
A lot of
yeah.
the nurses that she worked with are kind of down. So something's going around.
Ugh,
So
yeah.
you've seen it, yeah.
Can concur.
No, that's a doctor thing. I can concur, doctor.
Can concur.
I've seen Catch Me If You Can. Do you concur, doctor?
I concur.
I concur. Yeah, exactly. Nobody else uses that word. It's just doctors who think they're cool.
Oh, maybe we should start implementing it. You guys
Jackson-
concur?
I concur.
Yeah.
I
I'll start
concur.
using it in preschool. See how
All
that
right,
goes.
yeah,
Let you
there
know.
you go. Yeah.
Do you concur the kids are going to look like...
Did somebody poop their pants? Do you concur?
Yeah.
Because I can
Smells
smell
like
it.
it. I can
smell
concur.
it.
'cause
I can smell it. I concur. I can smell it. Jackson, you were not planning on participating at all at first. What changed your mind? Did somebody give you shit, meaning your wife?
A little, yeah, for
Yeah?
sure.
Oh,
And also, I
To
thought...
Maria!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also... I thought it'd be good for content reasons for us all to do it.
Yeah.
Rather than just me be the one guy who's like, oh, I did this whole morning vlog and now I'm not going to be be
Then Paul
kind of
didn't
weird.
do it, but,
Well,
no,
it's
but, yeah.
I was like filming myself all morning long.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Preparing like the viewers, the eventual viewers
Sure.
for this, and then to just be the guy filming and be like, that's
Yeah.
kind of stupid.
Did honest truth? You have to be honest in your response. Did the Waples send you any video content at all?
No,
I didn't.
but
think
I don't.
So.
That
I would
doesn't
have
really
been just
matter.
sending
Pieces of
drywall.
Shit.
Drywall content.
Jackson asked for one thing. You could have just taken a little selfie saying, "Hey, it's me,
I will
Sam.
say-
I'm doing drywall."
I could
Well, he's
just
asked for
send you
bike
the
stuff.
same thing tomorrow.
David,
you can edit it in because
David-
it'll be me at work again.
David,
Yeah.
did you take a moment out of your day for the pack filler, or do you just come here to drink beer?
I literally just showed up from work in my scrubs.
That's fair. I have so much footage as it is that
I could
I'm
reproduce it tomorrow for you. It'd be the
Yeah,
same,
same.
exact thing as Saturday.
No, no. I've decided. I've made a judgment call about the Waples brothers.
We're here
That's
for the
fair.
beer.
Yeah, we're here for the beer.
And the Four Roses.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, oh my God,
The
you drank
alcohol.
me out of whiskey. David, you claim that I cheated. Are you really that shallow?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We do need to provide
cool.
some context here. We all had problems, ironically, logging into RGT.
Not me.
Not
Jackson
me.
didn't.
Mine was like, and then he came over too, and you were like, "It's good."
Yours was
I-
fine. Everything was connected.
Everything was connected.
But you pedaled,
And
and your
nothing
guy just
worked.
stood there.
Yes,
I wonder if it was idle for too long.
that could have been it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You should have just done like your brother and just pedaled a couple strokes and technically started.
I know I should have.
Just to see.
But I wanted to be like, I was like, no, I'm starting
From
at
the
0 and
line.
I'm going to go
Yeah.
1.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it.
So we did have that issue, and I went from a iPad to a laptop, and at some point in time, I guess I must have been like, I want to go full blown Euro, and I want to ride in kilometers.
This is how he
That's
cheats.
fun.
You went 6.2.
This is how he cheats.
Yeah, I did. But at first, I was like, oh no, I'm in kilometers. Somebody tell me how far a mile is in kilometers, because I was drinking. So fortunately, Sam, your wife, was able to tell me how to do my math and figure out everything to go
She was
from
very
that point in
helpful with
time.
that.
Yeah, she
Calling
did.
out the mileage.
Yeah. Oh well, we lost the monitor behind that. No, we're gonna need it later. But so that was interesting. So everybody talk to me about mixing beer with sweat. So who would like to start on the process of slamming? It was beer mile.
That's it.
Is that 4?
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
I
yeah.
lost my ability to comprehend math
I
think-
from this weekend.
As the person who tried the least, I'll go first. Because I went into this at first I was like, oh, I could probably do fine, But then I got to it and I was like, there's no point in really trying in this.
Amen.
What do I win?
I showed up and I was like, there's no finish line to this event. Like, we're not racing each other.
That's a Nike slogan, and now we're going to
There
use
is no
it for the
finish
beer
line.
mile.
Yeah.
There is no finish line.
Exactly. Always keep going. Yeah. And so, that first beer in, I was fine. And then after that, I went, and then Sam, you and I talked about this quite a bit, but high heart rate and then drinking that was like a weird concoction for me that I did not expect to result in negativity.
Yeah.
So after I felt that weird thing, I was like, slow it down. And so that was not the most fun. I never felt sick though.
You didn't.
I felt like I had a full stomach, and then
bloated.
I burp,
Yeah.
and that would be fine. It'd be fine, yeah. Because the three of us, drank an alternative.
Jackson
To what
and
you-
Sam and David chose Colorado Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great name.
It's-
I've never heard
It's
of that.
Really?
way
I don't know how
better.
I've never heard of that.
They
but
were
that is a
Coors
great-
Lights.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
Colorado Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's as cold as the Rockies, as they say.
Yeah.
But it was a good
Was
alternative.
the Mountain Blue when you drink it?
They don't do those cans anymore.
Really?
They're always-
How
How
are
do
you
you know?
supposed to know? Like I'm holding a can, and the can feels cold, but I don't know if it's cold enough.
Yeah, the mountain's got to be blue. It's got to be blue.
Jesus, tap Christ. How am I supposed to know without this blue mountain?
I'm kind of a fan though. I was
Sorry, that's
So that was
I
a-
just went total over the top redneck.
that was,
I love it.
That was a good choice for me though.
Yeah.
It was a familiar flavor and something that I knew that wouldn't
There's
hurt
a
as
flavor?
much. Yeah.
No. Carbonation is the flavor.
I got to tell
a
you
good one.
guys, I went with the Pervy Pills, and not only was it delicious, I actually didn't mind the taste slamming down. It was lower carbonation
Yeah.
because it was on tap.
That was smart.
I tried pouring them out pretty aggressively to get all the carbonation out. It didn't work.
I did have a plan.
Paul's like, you children.
You know, it's actually better when
I
it's
leave
warm.
for one night.
That's
It's easier to shotgun warm beer.
Yeah. I had an interesting idea
Don't
that
wanna
if
know
we
how
were to
you know
do it
that.
from cans, because I was the purchaser of said beers, I was really, really thinking, and I'm really happy.
You were going to shotgun cans?
No, I was going to shake them up. I was going to shake your guys' up and not mine.
That would have been great.
But we didn't put them in cans, so
That would have been.
yeah.
That would have been really fun.
I had a strategy, and I'm listening to this. Anyway, you guys,
No.
you were there. My idea was I was looking like a biathlon. So you got to get your heart rate down. So you sit there, and then you drink, and then right before you get down, you just start winding down towards the end. It's not sprinting up to that beer. You would have to like pace it down because that's what they do. They're skiing back into the stadium.
yeah.
You can see them like taking deep breaths, big long, strides.
Wow.
I had it down.
Wow, you
This would have been
really-
my choice because this
the
is
red.
because it's older. See how I
The
thought
red
this
ale,
out?
yeah.
And it has least carbonation from the newer keg of the pills. And so I could have chugged
So you're
that
saying
down.
I got to up the CO2 on that is what you're
Well,
saying.
yeah,
I will,
and it's
but
natural.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
naturally, it's a little. It's
Yeah.
not as bubbly as the pills. So
Holy
to play
shit.
that.
I
See,
mean,
he
like-
he
Yeah.
strategizes
Even
fucking
about
everything.
a beer mile. Like,
Everything.
I mean,
I'm not saying
everything.
it would work. It was
Yeah.
it was worth a try. But
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I would just I agree, Jackson. I didn't anticipate how bad that would be with having a heart rate high, and
Yeah.
I thought since my computer wasn't working in the beginning, I was still pedaling,
Yeah.
trying to get it to go, and then once it did kick on, I just was like, okay, I got to catch up, and so I was sitting at 450 watts, and I jump off for the second beer, and I'm like, I'm gonna puke. It's like, yeah, I think just keeping like a steady grind, like what you're saying, but
Yeah.
it was a fun time though. I mean, it's
was a
like
lot of fun.
It was
It was, yeah.
fun.
I went out really hard because I don't know. It's just the competitive nature, and I was doing fairly well on drinking. David passed me. You passed me on the second mile on the ride. Mm-hmm. I saw your.
Well, I
little,
was like in front until the second beer. Like I finished my beer first. I finished my first mile first, and then my second beer, I could not get
Yeah.
it down.
Yeah.
It was unbearable.
and
Yeah.
I just
Again-
reverted back to my 1990s
And
college
you just
days.
flew by me on the beer,
went,
and that was it.
Can we also just throw in the comment of like how funny it was that all of our wives were heckling us and like cheering on like this
Idiocracy.
idiocracy? Like,
And for those of you who don't know what I was talking about at the intro, the kit of shame was worn. I wore my Tour de France punishment kit.
it was
And
punishment. to
I'm going to
everyone.
say several things about the kit. Number one is the jersey that my wonderful brother-in-law made for my birthday, which is a hilarious jersey. It's got Rogaine, it's got
Viagra.
it's got all these logos all over them.
Depends.
Depends. It is a double XL.
Thank God.
Yeah. I am thankful
God.
for that jersey being that long because the shorts that I purchased for the punishment, because Jackson told me I had to wear white bib shorts.
that was crazy.
Little bit of sweat, a little bit
did
of
I
beer.
know that he was before sweat, man. When you order shorts from AliExpress,
The cost savings comes in.
the cost savings comes out.
transparency.
I pulled them on and went, I can see my leg hair on my thighs. I can see the stubble of my leg hair. They wasn't poking through. I could see the strands.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And these weren't tight. And I pulled it up and I went, oh shit. And I walked up to my wife and I said, honey, and I pulled up the jersey. She went, yep, see the whole thing. I can see everything. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? So I just, every time I approached the beer table, I pulled that double extra large jersey down over my what I have.
Right.
And I was so glad that jersey was long because nobody would have eaten at all.
No.
I'm
And
still haunted.
They might even
Yeah.
puked, not from the beer, just puked.
Oh, that could have been my strategy.
Yeah.
Those shorts.
Look, guys.
Yeah.
Those shorts were punishment for everyone there.
It was ugly. You guys, how do you see this? Could this be made better? Could we change some rules? Could we tweak the platform? Anything like that? I'm not saying we're going to do it again, But if somebody
don't wanna
was,
do this
if
again.
somebody was, Jackson's currently working on editing and producing a video of it, so people will be able to see it on our YouTube. So
Wonderful.
anybody got any recommendations of?
I think we should do it with like food or something.
What?
Like
Yeah.
a
What are you
mayonnaise
talking
eating
about?
competition.
Oh,
That's disgusting.
God.
That's so gross. That's so gross.
It's your idea, not mine.
That's bad. Yeah, I don't know. We should. I mean, it'd definitely be. It's a fun concept to do it in racing, silly, goofy form.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I never at once felt any tinge of I've had 4 beers, I'm buzzed.
That's really nice
That's
for you.
insane.
That's
You guys
concerning.
didn't?
I'm
I
concerned.
drank
That's
3 beers
concerning.
before I showed up, so I was already
Did
there.
I just confess something?
Yes.
On the air. I swear to God, I felt fine, and I don't know if it was because I was sweating or
It wasn't until the quarter of bottle of bourbon that you started to feel intoxicated.
Don't even start with me about a quarter of a bottle of bourbon. I had like 4 ounces tops the whole night. I had a Jack Old Fashioned that night.
That's a quarter of a bottle. You just proved our point.
You guys,
When Jack makes, have you seen his cocktails?
you guys, I should have just put a nipple on that bottle because you guys
Yeah.
are just like going boop, 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 the whole
and
night.
the bullet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
I know there's no more bourbon in this
we
house.
finished. There isn't. We finished the beer mile, and everybody came into the house, and I was going to feed everybody, and I was like, "You guys need something?" No, I'm just going straight to bourbon. I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah, no, I know where your cabinet is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
yeah. And you cleaned out all my
We
candy.
can help ourselves.
I think if you opened it up for broaden the rules to 4 beers and 4 miles, and you could strategize however you want, that could be interesting.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing 2 miles, the last 2 miles, and then the last 2 beers at one
So
time.
it's your
All
choice
4
of
beers,
4
all 4
miles and
miles.
4 beers, whether you do the 4 beers before in between like you did, or
Right.
After.
2 miles to at the
Right.
end of.
But that screws up the entire format,
Yeah.
though. That's like saying I'm going to do a biathlon, and I'm going to shoot all my targets before I start. Then I'm going to go skiing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I liked how he did it. I didn't really have anything else
Yeah.
to change. I think it would be kind of funny if we had to switch shoes though. Between we'd have to switch, take off your
Change your
cycling
shoes,
shoes so
yeah.
you don't slip all over
That
the
was
place.
pretty funny. We're running back and forth.
Yeah.
And should the table be farther away, or
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I would.
because then you
More
really got
chance
to work.
for
Or we
falls.
play bike roulette. And we do you have to draw a card and it's like, shit, I got Pat's bike. And then I have to hop on your bike.
Oh no.
So whoever has to hop on my bike, David's sitting top 2.
I'm the only one screwed in that scenario. It's way easier to ride a smaller bike.
Oh man. What was I gonna? I was gonna ask some other things, but I guess that's pretty much it. Should I mention that this was on the RGT platform? And
well, I won't be able to do it next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
so I am in case anybody wonders, I won, which is the only time I'm ever going to say those 2 words around you guys. I won.
Yeah, maybe.
But should we just end it here and just say there will never be another beer miles, and I can be the forever reigning RGT
This doesn't really feel
beer miles champion?
This isn't really something I want to contest, to be honest.
You know?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I didn't.
They're all bowing
Yeah.
down. You won.
Yeah, you win.
For
I
those
mean, what it would take is a lot more drinking and then a lot less riding, right? Because you really smoked us on the drinking part of this. I'm just saying.
Oh my!
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I'm
Yeah,
just
we need to
noticing where
stack up the miles.
where your time was made up.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
I did have a couple burps that were at least a couple tablespoons.
Oh god.
Yeah, and if
tried
I was
to-
to spit it out, that would be puking. So
Yeah, so
I,
you'd have to do another.
Yeah.
I just ponied up.
God, you are.
I was really banking on one of you puking because that's why I went so
Yeah.
slow. It didn't work.
Speaking of RGT, and this is going to eventually lead us into the news. RGT just announced, Wahoo just announced that their version of virtual platform is going away at the end of October. They are offering a 3-month Zwift membership, I think, for people who pay month to month, and a 12-month membership for people who pay yearly. Who's taking it? Why or why not?
It's free. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know how often I'll use it because
Yeah.
I'm not a big Swift fan. But I mean, if I'll plug it in, and maybe sometime I think, well, I'll just go in some tunnel where I can see dolphins swim above me, or fucking dinosaurs or butterflies. I don't know.
I was in probably my worst mental state when I was on Zwift, so I think that going back to that might be like a emotional reaction.
So you're not going to do it?
No, I can't go back, or else I'm going to just spiral downhill again.
That's fair.
Really?
Yeah, it's
But
not
so
my
you'll
platform.
just stick with System X.
Yeah.
I like System a lot. I just like it makes me feel like I'm racing the pros with some of those Sufferfest videos.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
it. So
What was the mental state you speak of, just to refresh everybody? Was it
I just have really bad anxiety, and that really was what I was always super anxious to be on Zwift because I was stressed about the whole training aspect of it's the off season. If you're not training, you're losing fitness type of thing. So
Jesus Christ, I'm
seeing
so
everyone-
sorry. I am
seeing
so
everyone
sorry.
it's
around it.
nobody's fault.
He inherited
No,
it.
no,
it's his fault.
because that's how I think every day, every
Yeah, so-
minute of every
okay.
day.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
And
But-
he raised you.
That's true. So it's okay.
No, I went out and got a pack of cigarettes when he was 4. Just came back a couple weeks ago.
Look at all
This
of
is the
the
guy who was around the first 5 years. Not to say my mother wasn't. That sounded bad coming out. She was there. She was great. Present.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. I'm going to use it. I actually enjoyed the racing element of it. It was kind of fun to just kind of look online and go, shit, I'll do a crit on Wednesday night and come, and then
Yeah, that's nice.
it's not racing per se. I mean, it is just who can sustain maximum watts for the longest. There's no tactics. Because there's no wind, because there's no, anything like that. And I'm sure the Zwift purites are out there going, bullshit, when you're behind a rider, you get a
You eat a burrito. You do all these uploads when you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not into that, but I do like the platform. So what do you guys, Sam, you're holding off.
I'm
you're
back on Trainer Road. Just started it up.
dyed in the wool. I mean, you're
I will
holding
die
to
on
the
that
platform.
hill. I'm telling you, I have nothing against System. Honestly, I haven't had enough experience with it to say anything or Sufferfest, but I'm sure it's amazing. I'm just familiar. It's like I stick with the Samsung because I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
It's like this
You're
is
afraid of change.
and I'm afraid of change.
A lot of people do like that platform because what they can do is they can, like we were talking to Brent Soderberg.
Does he use it as well?
Yes.
And he loads it onto his computer,
And
onto
does
his
the outside?
handlebar computer. No, he does it indoors, but
Oh.
he can watch a movie or something like that
Yep.
while it's going on.
Yep.
Or bike racing footage.
But you can
I
do
think.
them outside too. That's what's so cool about it. It is like having a coach because
Yeah.
you can download these and say whether it's inside or outside, and they
Your
change
system
that.
will do that too.
Okay.
Yeah,
System
it's
will do
nice,
that
yeah.
too. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, I think we're talking like minor real differences
Yeah.
here. And System has a great price. I mean,
Yeah.
$15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? So Trainer Road's 20.
Oh, okay.
So it is a little bit more. But yeah, I
Gouging.
don't know. I'm back on. Yeah.
Gouging.
I'm back
Yeah.
on it. I had the discussion with my wife the other day. I'm like, I feel like because I'm doing house reno now, I should just get on board with doing training now. And it's like, but I don't know if I want to pay the $20 this month or if I should just start it next. She just looks at me like, it's $20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start riding.
Buy
I'm like,
less root
good
beer.
point. Yeah, buy less root beer.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with it.
But you're gonna stick
I'm
with System
wondering
as
if
well,
I'm
right?
wondering if System is going to do anything about like maybe lowering their prices now because they are, in theory, they are taking a part of their charged platform away.
They should lower it.
Yeah, but System is already like that's affordable.
Yeah, it's cheaper.
It's
But
$15
how do you
is-
justify affordable when you take something that was a part? So let's say I
Yeah,
give you
yeah.
a cable package with 100 channels, and
Take
I charge
50
you
of them.
$10 for it, and then I take away 50 of the channels, and I still charge you $10. People are going to be pissed.
But let's add into this: who in here doesn't ride a carbon road bike? I see no hands. It's the sport.
oh,
We're all
Expensive.
okay.
we're all
so
we're
you're
all-
saying that we're
we're all
just idiots and we're going to bleed money.
Yeah, we're all paying for little bits and bobs here and there about cycling. So it's,
Well, I
what's
think
another
the reason
15?
they removed it is one, it wasn't very popular, but what does it cost to function that? And it's no secret that Wahoo is in the red.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they're probably thinking if we can get rid of that, people aren't using it anyway, so they probably, people aren't going to say, hey, what happened to I'm losing
Yeah.
$3, I should get $3 back.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to scream that.
Well,
I
think
know
people will
and
scream
I
it.
think that they're gonna make like system just better. So I
Yeah.
think that it like the Sufferfest system can be made better, and then RGT can just go by the side. I mean, why would you spend so much money to reinvent the wheel that already exists and is like?
Have you been to the Wahoo site? Looked at their trainers?
No. David,
All of their
have you been there, Mr.
Where is it?
Well,
I'm on a 19.
just on
It's
online.
www.wahoo.com. It's
David?
on the internet.
This is a bit.
So
There's a link at packfiller.com.
You went their physical site. I'm really tired.
That's
I was like, you went to the physical site of
Yeah,
Wahoo?
yeah,
I've been to
yeah.
the website.
You haven't been there? Jeez.
You have
Anyway.
a smartphone, or are you still dealing with like a
Well, he's
BlackBerry?
got a Samsung.
Oh
Yeah,
shit! Never
there you
mind.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you go in there and you look at all their trainers, it comes with if
Going
you
in
purchase
or
a
on?
free year of Zwift,
yep.
Yeah.
you don't have a choice.
No.
Yeah.
You get it.
You get it, and you get it. And so I'm wondering, with that lawsuit that they had with Zwift,
That-
that had
yeah.
something to bearing on that.
I feel okay. So my suspicion is that like the lawsuit was basically like, hey, Swift was like, hey guys, let's make this go away, Wahoo, and we'll give you 2,000 year like subscriptions, and you guys just get the money from that. So
Yeah.
then they could like upcharge their trainers another $100, and they're getting in however many that is. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? So I
Yeah.
think that there's some settlement like that, and
That
so I
makes
think
sense.
that they're just basically saying, okay, let's cut out of this.
Yeah.
I
think
didn't really
that's
see
what's
the point
happening.
of RGT. That was my first use of it this weekend. I was like, this is just
Yeah, there were only like
Zwift.
3 other people that I was riding with.
Well, no, it was just Zwift. It was like, what? This is just another fake virtual like riding. There's no dolphins, but I was like,
Yeah, we're the dolphins.
This is not
Yeah.
appealing. So
They use.
How about that
actually
random
roads
bear that
from-
falls out of a tree?
from different areas.
Oh,
I want
the
that
real-
on a
You've
seen
t-shirt.
it?
I want
You
that
seen
on a
it?
t-shirt.
So you could actually go. They have
but they're
like
still animated,
Leuven.
like-
Yeah, but because it's a cartoon. It's just a stupid cartoon thing, and that's why Simpsons better. Is you're watching
It was
a
on
movie,
legit roads.
yeah,
I
and
like
there's like a
lines.
story sometimes for the long ones. You can watch.
Yeah.
Oh,
the workouts, the actual
Yeah.
the system workouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, not RGT.
Not RGT.
Yeah.
I just
No,
want to follow a line.
the workouts are great.
Yeah.
Actually, on
I'm
system.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Follow a line. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
I
kind of
wanna
what this is.
match
too.
my
Yeah.
power to a line and
Yeah,
watch
just
a
exactly
watch a
right.
movie.
There's a lot of no video,
Yeah.
like good training sessions that I did on Monday yesterday.
Yeah.
Without it's just following a line.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on one right now, and I'm doing strength training on top of it, and I'm not going to do yoga because I know I need to do yoga, but I'm not gonna.
You should.
Because
Just own that.
well, I can't keep
own it.
up. I can't keep up.
Mentally,
with
it's going to
with
be more fatiguing for you if you think you're gonna and you're not gonna.
The teacher, she's. I was going to actually have her on the show for a while there, and I kept dropping the ball because I think I'm just mad at her because she's so good at what she does, and she's quick between transitions, and I'm extremely dyslexic. And when she's saying left, I'm doing right, and I'm going like, which one is that? And then I'm mirroring what she's done because I don't get left and right.
You know what they call
okay.
when you do
Okay.
yoga? You practice. It's always that you'll never get. You practice.
I understand,
So
but
you
when I'm
watch,
doing like yoga for dumbasses video, and she's
You're
like,
not gonna get it
I
right
mean, I
the
have to
first time.
pause because I could see her. She's judging me.
You have so many complexes we need to work through.
They make the
That's
show
real-
fun. though,
yeah,
don't
they do. They
Hey,
really do.
Let's jump to some news, you guys. Oh, I probably should say jump to some news. Oh, we got. Speaking of, we got news, new bumps coming. Maybe I'll play the new bumper. Maybe
Do it.
it'll.
Do it.
It's not big news. It's not kind of a news style, but it's like,
Wow, that's class.
I like that.
hey, you guys. Hey, we got news coming. Thanks to our fine folks at Cycle Systems Online. Master the mechanical world on your own time for the price of just a few bike shop visits. Get it out that. Get to bicycle. Get to Backfiller. Check on the link.
It sounds like you should be like.
You nailed that.
It sounds.
That was
Notice I
really
went a little
good.
jazzy on
And
that?
also, I do like that too.
It sounds like you need like
Yeah.
a fedora, and it needs to
Yeah.
be black and white.
So,
Take me
like,
back to the
old
60s
school, like,
or 50s.
wait, like
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you need to hear
Yeah.
over the top. I always feel like that's happened in the 60s.
Do it, man.
Wow.
News.
What a plug.
Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure Cycle System's going to get shit out of that, but they are, you guys, legit. And honestly, you can become a pro level mechanic for the cost of like 5 bike repair trips. It's worth it. First story: merger, more like takeover. We talked about this in our last show, but amid rumors of contracted riders and staff left jobless by a merger between Jumbo-Visma and Soudal Quick-Step, UCI said in a statement that, quote, any such operation must comply with the governing body's regulation, and in particular the contractual provisions for all ex-team staff members. So the UCI statement released on Tuesday comes as progress in the possible merger between these two gigantic teams. Developments indicate, however, that the situation appears to be more of a takeover than a merger, as Wielerflits, Europe, reports as few as 6 of the 23 riders on Soudal Quick-Step for 2024 have spots on the new team. Yves Lampard is said to be one of them. Wout van Aert reportedly informing Jumbo-Visma management that he would welcome support from his countryman who has a strong pedigree in the classics, while the Dutch team is also counting on Remco Evenepoel joining their formation, despite continuing hints the former world road champion could be on his way to Ineos Grenadiers. Yeah, and so also on top of that, we've got the rumors of Roglic. Not rumors, Roglic is leaving.
Yeah.
Right now, leading the charge on that is Bora Hansgrohe. Does anybody have any rumors or any decisions or any ideas? Jackson's cringing.
That's such a bad place for him to go. They got what's his name, Alexander Vlasov, thinking that would go well, and that's just, I mean, one specific rider, but I feel like they offloaded a lot of their really like high quality GC riders to other teams to support other GC riders. So I don't know if that'd be a great place for him to go right now. Could be a
great way to offset all those riders, because now you can afford a Primož Roglic.
Yeah, that's true.
But they've got, like on the GC, they have Uterbrook. He's that 21-year-old that finished in 8th, and they Vlasov. And Kamna could back up Roglic. They've got some star power in the mountains, so I think that it may be a good fit for him. But I think Roglic rides for Roglic anyway.
Yeah.
That was very apparent, and so I don't anywhere he's going to go he's going to do his thing.
Yeah. Visual. We're on an audio podcast, but visual. Everybody raise your hand if you think Remco's staying with the team.
With which team? With
the merger.
The merged team.
Well, he literally said it out loud that he's not gonna.
Yeah. So you're.
Oh no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. There's no way he would. It sounds like I read a quote somewhere that was saying no, Remco hates Jumbo-Visma. He doesn't like the team or the riders on it, because there is rivals.
Yeah.
Justifiably so. Is this the building of the super team, or is this the cherry picking of a dying one?
It feels like the cherry picking of a dying one a little bit, because I feel like they're expecting so much, and getting so little out of it. I mean, the fact that you said 6 of the 28-man roster of that Soudal Quick-Step team is going away. I mean, there's some star riders on that team that could really help, but it seems like that a lot of money is kind of diluting the goggles of said directors here. I don't think it's going to go well.
Yeah.
I think that Remco going to Ineos,
that'd be crazy.
Game changer. Yeah. Ineos is instantly back.
Yeah.
Like instantly. Put him on the program of Ineos in the past, and you have like Pidcock and all these other guys that really aren't GC but could be incredible dynamic players.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Whoa. Well, think about this. If he goes to Ineos, then you have Vindigo on now Jumbo. Mm-hmm. You have Roglic, let's say, on Bora.
Jumbo Amazon.
And then you have
Visma Amazon, even though that's just a rumor.
Yeah, it is a rumor. And then you have, Pogacar at UAE. So you have.
Are we talking about the best tour ever?
Yeah, it could just be explosive. I mean, these guys are going to, So I'm curious. I'm trying to think of the timeline. Remember when Remco's dad was like busting out like he's not happy and he's going to change teams and stuff. Now, Dad, I think that was around. Yeah, it wasn't that around like right before the tour. Wasn't it before the tour or something, or at the tour? That's when the talks with Lefebvre and Richard. What's his name? Dang it, the head guy at
Visma.
Jumbo.
Just make it up.
So anyway, if that's the timeline, and it was Lefebvre, everybody's saying shut up because they were already in the talks. So that's probably why all of a sudden it just died off.
Yeah.
And that's when even Remco says, my dad needs to be quiet. He made that comment. Probably because everybody knew that was happening. So
I mean, and they just offloaded Pavel Sivakov as well. Ineos did. And to UAE, which I'm not trying to sidetrack us here, but I think that's going to be a crazy signing for the next year.
Sivakov's
for
going to
UAE. For UAE,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be huge. But I think they're slowly, but right?
I'm excited.
Yeah. I think that they're slowly but surely making space for somebody who they can afford. Because, I mean, I bet you Thomas probably costs a lot. I bet you...
well, they lost Theo Degenhardt.
Yeah.
That's very true. I completely forgot about that. But I bet you they're filling roles.
And I bet you this is Thomas's last year. Like he's
he's
gonna. This is gonna be a transition into him teaching, and then he's gone.
Shit, I forgot about Teo. And I think now that you mention that, Geraint Thomas would be one of the best teachers. For Remco. Just chill it out, dude. Like
He had him on their podcast.
Yeah.
He
They
did.
call him the little bastard.
Yeah.
And then we've got this will lead to a leftover World Tour license. Because if you got the merger, you got one losing. One's not going to be a deal anymore, which makes me a little sad, especially when it comes to the fact of Lefebvre's legacy in the sport. I mean, as far back as before Mappé, before Word Perfect,
Kind of like who
teams.
used to own Jelly Belly.
I don't know.
But he was the oldest U.S. domestic team too. But he was a total dickhole as well.
I feel like this is
I don't know. It's just he's gonna go away, and people will be like, Patrick, who?
Yeah.
I feel like this is the way for him to go
That's
out.
what my wife said.
I think so too.
Just like clouded by all the money that's coming towards him. Like that is poetic Patrick Lefebvre way to go out.
Yeah.
And he's talked about stepping down in the last couple of years anyway.
Yeah.
Are you listening
Hey,
to this,
David, do you know what we're talking about over here?
I have no idea. I'm trying to figure out how to say something smart about who's going to win this race.
Yeah, so Peter isn't in
This race.
Peter
Well,
isn't in this
you know
race.
what? Then this is a perfect way for me to transition because the title of that I wrote for this news story is "Who's David going to pick now?" Cycling icon Peter Sagan has ended his remarkable road racing journey with a 9th place finish at the Tour de Vendée, marking his final chapter in a career boasting 121 victories, including 3 consecutive World Championships and 7 Tour de France green jerseys. He now transitions to mountain bike racing, aiming to represent Slovakia at the Paris Olympics in 2024. I'm going to let Jackson go first on this one.
This was
Talk to me, about the impact of Peter Sagan.
He's what got me into it all. I mean, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for watching him pretend, like celebrating as pretend running on his bike. That is one of
Running Man.
That is like one of my iconic celebrations in cycling in my mind still. And he was cool. I think I said this a couple weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, but he made the sport cool. We talked about the non-shaven legs for a week. I mean, it made cycling dynamic and different, and
He pissed off all the traditionalists.
Yeah.
He only did that for a week.
it was for very short, but he still did
Doing
it.
it for a year.
Yeah, he did. And
No. No.
I think Roglic doesn't shave. There's
Love it.
pictures of him. Without.
yeah.
Really?
But I watched a compilation of Specialized commercials today, and he's just funny. He's dynamic. He's something new that the sport needed after, and no offense to the guy, but after the Chris Froomes and the Bradley Wiggins of cycling, it's numbers, same winners, same everything every single year.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna miss him. It makes me sad to see him go. But I think
Wiggle was a bit of a rock star, though. We can say.
Yeah.
But I mean, I mean, in the
loved
team,
Yeah,
that they
sure,
were on, period,
Yeah.
that
Oh,
they
yeah,
created,
the marginal gain teams.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that somebody wrote, I think it was Geraint Thomas actually. He said that in his Instagram caption, Peter Sagan paved the way for the current like chaotic generation.
Yeah.
And I think that is a great way to describe him. And I know he won't go away from cycling, but I think that when he says that it was a lot of times with good memories and a lot of times with bad memories.
Yeah.
I'm happy for the guy. I think he needs the time off. And
The guy who didn't.
thank you for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy who didn't need or want a lead out.
Yeah.
Because he would surf the wheels to be
Yeah.
able to, and still crush. I mean, Paul, you know, we can think of the Mario Cipollini years where it was just this red train, just riders going until they explode. Almost, I mean, you wish you could add fireworks on their seat posts because it was just this, you know, and they just go away. And then Mario would have the last 250 meters or 200 meters, you know. And then you got this guy who's just like, oh no, you guys, I'm fine. I just want to dance. I want to play the field. And that model worked incredibly well. And then you see his Tour de France tactics where he would bust his ass in the mountain stages and still get these points over all these sprint specialists. And he was so much more than just a sprinting.
Yeah, the green jersey is a
specialist.
different competition now because of him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. True legend.
Yeah, I loved watching him race. I mean, and there were times that he personified the fast asshole, but he at least made jokes about it. And how can you take a guy whose nasal voice sounds like, you know, he as Deadpool says, mouth sexed a can of helium.
Somewhat accurate, yeah.
He was the peak of my cycling time. You know, it was like when I was just all in racing every single weekend.
Yeah.
I lived and breathed it. He was like at his top performance racing. Like I did the Richmond course the year before he did it. I mean, he is like the first character that I was like screaming at the TV, you know, in excitement, right? So he was an era, and it was super fun to watch him. But hopefully he goes off and has some fun years in a year and mountain biking, and then retires.
Becomes a gravel rider.
God, that'd be cool.
I was there when you won Paris-Roubaix.
You were?
Yeah,
Wow.
That's cool.
2018.
Doesn't he have two
There's
monuments?
a picture of
That
me
and Milan
while
San Remo?
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
Doesn't he have that in Milan San Remo?
Yep.
And he also has
Flanders.
Flanders.
Too.
Oh, okay. I
And
don't
Gent
know if-
Bellegum several times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good classic rider.
Let's talk about the serious moments. Who thinks he was at fault in the Cavendish crash? Remember, everybody's
That's
like he pushed, he leaned,
after
he
watching
elbowed.
the Cavendish documentary,
Yeah.
it made me feel more for Cav. But Cav always put himself in these really bad spots.
But
You know,
that's
it
a
was-
sprinter. Really.
I know,
Yeah.
but it was one of those things where I was like, I mean, I don't think Peter has it in him to do harm to someone like that. So that's what I think.
I read Sagan's book.
His book's good.
Yeah.
His book's good.
I read it, and obviously, you know, it's a one-sided telling of the story, but to hear about how he went up to him and he like profusely apologized, and Cav shoved him away.
Yeah.
Oh.
To me, in that moment, I was like, that guy's dead to me.
Yeah.
Because like in cycling, like it is everybody's going for the win, and I mean this is obviously on such a different level. But when people came up to me and apologized for the crash that I went through, I was like, it's not a big deal. Like it just happens. Like nobody's meaning to crash me out.
Right.
And I feel like to do that is just like, wow, like it shows personalities.
Professionalism.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he's talking about that documentary about Cavendish. I always thought that's just bike racing type of thing, and Cavendish was a little bit pouty.
Yeah.
But after watching it, and so many times, I'm like, I don't know. And then you hear all these riders saying Sagan caused a lot of crashes because he would shoot gaps, thinking everybody could have the same handling skill as he did.
Yeah.
And he would take people out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think that's it. I think that, you know, Sagan in that sprint, just like now, I mean, whether he was just stuck in elbow, he tried to stay upright. If they were going to contact, he was going to go down. So he's self-preservation.
Yeah.
somebody's going to go down. It's
I
gonna
thought
be
that
you.
elbow was defensive, and I don't think it
Yeah.
was offensive.
But that elbow was defensive, but that elbow was also what caused the crash.
yeah,
Yep.
It wasn't bike contact or bars or anything. It was the elbow.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Rubbin's racing, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
I still I thought it was way too dramatic for Peter to be ejected
Yeah.
from that.
That was
Like I've seen way
Last
worse from
place.
Jasper
Yeah.
doing stuff this
Yeah.
year that I'm like, should have been ejected for that. Should have been ejected for that. Okay,
Yeah.
he's still racing. Should have been ejected for that.
Yeah.
Like I just I'm Peter.
There were some other moments in Peter's career that he'd probably not like to look back on. The butt pinch. Everybody, Paul, you
Yeah.
remember the butt pinch?
Yeah, Tour of Flanders.
Yeah. The multiple drunk driving moments. One of which I
Yeah.
think was on a scooter.
Yep, in Mallorca.
Yeah. And getting COVID 3 times.
Yeah,
But you
never
can't
being
help that.
vaccinated.
Yeah, at first I was like, okay, like there is a vaccination necessity here. And then after a while, haven't we all sort of had it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Once.
Well, I know somebody
that you know of?
not to cause chaos, but I know a guy who was compliant with all of it and got it 3 times.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
Okay.
can't.
Yeah,
I'm gonna dish him on that.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
David, do you have anything on this? I know that Peter Sagan was your guy, and after now that he's gone, you're not going to have any pro riders to talk about.
David, what team did he start on? If you're a Peter Sagan
Yeah,
fan.
David.
You're such a Peter Sagan fan.
I followed him when he was leaky gas, Bora.
No,
liquid gas.
add
another name.
Just stick with
what's in your ear.
I follow. I don't
Leaky
know.
gas.
My formative time was with him on Bora, and he just made it fun. That's why
Yeah.
I like him so much, is
Yeah.
because all the things I don't like about pro cycling.
I thought Tinkoff would just be when you.
Oh yeah,
That might
it
have
would
been
have been
Tinkoff.
Tinkoff.
Yeah.
All the things that
Surprised he
didn't-
hasn't been accidentally fallen out of a window lately in Russia. 'Cause that old Jesus. Anyway, sorry.
all the things that like I didn't like about pro cycling, he kind of flew in the face of. I don't really
Yeah.
like shaving my legs. I don't really like the seriousness of like some of the sprints at the end. I kind of want to be at times just like alone in it, and he just did it all,
Yeah.
and he was fun about everything. I don't think the crash. I mean, I've been in those situations. You have 2 people going up against each other, and somebody's going to lose, and it's not going to be him. And we've seen him.
Yeah,
we've
his
seen
bike
him.
handling skills.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think Cavendish can ride up on cars doing a wheelie or whatever.
That shit was
So,
crazy.
yeah.
Or reenact the final scene in the movie Grease.
Yeah,
Oh,
that too.
wow,
So
yeah,
incredibly
that had been part of his low life.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
low-
It was pretty
low highlights.
impressive. It was pretty impressive. I remember seeing
You see-
that. I was just going, he did. You're the one that I want.
Yeah.
The
What-
whole thing.
What other pro
Lip sync?
cyclist is going to do that?
Yeah. I
Like,
think that,
yeah.
He had a big
It's
thing
cool.
with that. With the wolf.
I was gonna
I
say,
got you there multiplying.
He had a big thing with like the Wolf on Wall Street scene for a while, like
Mm-hmm.
that,
Yeah.
McConaughey or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. God, I just saw that movie a couple weeks ago. That is a messed up 2 hours.
Yeah,
That is just like watching. Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm jumping topics. Leonardo DiCaprio is really good at people who just go to shit in movies. If you
Howard
watch that,
Hughes.
the Howard Hughes, The Revenant. You watch The Revenant. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
going attacked by a bear, dying
Catch
for
Me
2
If You
hours.
Can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Great
anyway,
Gatsby.
But to end this,
Yeah.
this is my genuine hero here.
yeah,
To Peter.
yeah.
Yeah,
Jack
yeah.
has no
Peter.
alcohol left. To Peter Sagan. Great career. Also, I do have to mention we're losing the great Greg Van Avermaet.
yeah.
Yeah, which is another loss there too. So
Carson's gonna have no one to pick now.
yeah, exactly right. So our next and last story is going to be that Paul can technically go get a beer. The provisional start of the list for the upcoming UCI Gravel World Championships.
No, because it's road racers.
Yeah,
Of course, I want to.
in Veneto, Italy, have been confirmed taking place this weekend, along with the Lombardia, which we're going to talk about here too. The elite men's and women's race have attracted a mix of U.S. and European gravel specialists. 2 completely different terms.
How exciting is this?
Yeah.
I have. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Okay,
Finish
both,
your thing.
Both defending championships of the inaugural Gravel Worlds are on the start list, with Gianni Vermeesch ready to hold on to his rainbow jersey, while Pauline Ferrand-Prévot is also registered, but her presence is uncertain, I guess, after she contacted COVID. The road stars like, I don't know.
Keegan Swenson.
No. Wout van Aert.
No.
No way.
Made Mahoric,
No.
Annemiek van Vleuten for the women.
Okay, yes.
And the recently crowned European World Champion Lorena Wiebes will
Wiebes.
attract
Isn't
a lot
Jasper
of attention.
Stuyven also? He's European champion.
I think so.
he's doing it also.
Yeah. But there are also a lot of big names such as Sofia Gomez, Caroline Schiff, and Keegan Swenson, who is not technically he's not on the preliminary list, but everybody's expecting.
Well, they
him to be
announced
there.
that USAC announced the 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So the elite women's race is on Saturday with 140 kilometers, while the men's is on Sunday with 169K. So I know that Sam's sitting here like going Keegan, but
No.
Wout van Aert is in this goddamn race.
Yes. No. I agree. I don't think
What is
that-
it? Yes or no?
Yes, no, yes,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Kind of.
Okay.
Huh?
So Keegan Swenson has been so dominant this year, right? Like, it's super interesting to see when he stacks up against, because I honestly, personally think if you were to put him on a road bike, that he actually could be competitive in the world, like in the Grand Tours, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
and he chose to do the
Yes.
career path he's on.
right.
You know?
And
Yeah.
so, like, that's what I'm saying is, like, this is such an interesting time to see him against these world tour riders. Like, I think that that's so exciting. I don't think he's going to win, but, like, I'm excited to see where he stacks up with that.
Well, yeah, because the course, of course, is different
It's-
than
yes.
what ours, and
the U.S.
it's only
gravel
3.5
versus the
hours as opposed to
Euro.
6 hours.
Yeah. That's where we're running into this. What defines a gravel world championships? And if
Why
it
is
were based
it
in
in
the
Europe?
United States,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't at all.
It's because the UCI is in Europe. Let's be 100%.
Yeah,
honest.
it's so stupid. This
bullshit.
is absolutely a U.S. race.
Yeah.
It should be. It should honestly just be traveling
That's what
around the
Unbound,
U.S.
Unbound is the U.S. or
Yeah.
It should
truly
be.
is
Yeah, the unofficial. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm really interested to see how well he does, because I think that this will, I think if he does well, it will legitimize the success of gravel within the United States, or it'll just solidify the dominance of World Tour fitness.
Yeah.
I think that's what this weekend
But
really.
I mean,
But
100
like,
miles.
a world tour rider on U.S. gravel would be a totally different game, right?
I don't know. It depends very much on the race, because I
right.
think
If it's a paved surface, the world tour rider is going to do better.
You guys-
Well, I
which
think
is
that-
basically what the
I think that
European-
Wout. I'm interested to see how well Wout does at something like this, because he is he's a cross rider. He's got great bike handling skills, but I think that Keegan has that. He has that sweet spot of chunky and bike handling, like chunky terrain and bike handling, all combined into one. He started as the mountain biker, obviously, so I'm interested to see if it goes well, because I don't think it's going to be chunky enough for Keegan.
I don't
think so
either.
What is this course? Because I can't
David, do you know
imagine.
who Keegan Swenson is?
Yes, and I can't imagine he's going to be able to beat Wow. Unless they make this somehow too technical for Wow, which you can hardly
single track,
imagine.
rock
Yeah, which
garden.
exactly.
Yeah.
However, Mathieu van der Poel rode last year, and his
Yes.
teammate Gianni Vermeersch, who will not win it this year,
No.
Yeah.
won it. So
Yeah.
it's a breakaway. But
And it is a glorified Trobro Leon
yeah,
course. It is
Strada
pavement,
Bianchi.
dirt, pavement, dirt. Yeah, I mean it's that's why I'm Paul. We talk about this constantly. It's like, is gravel really gravel, or is it just
it's
a
raced
muddy
on
road
packed
race?
gravel.
I mean, because we talk about Paris-Roubaix. Should Paris-Roubaix be classified as a fucking gravel race? No, it shouldn't, because it's what it is. But then we look at some gravel races that say they're gravel, and there's less gravel. There's more pavement than there is in races like Trobro Leon, which is a road race. So it's like, we got to work
but
on the
like
defense.
the surface. It's like I was just over there, right? Like, we rode on many of these like bike paths that they do this course on. It's a road. Like, it has been packed down so hard that it is
It's
honestly
like
not
crushed limestone. That
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a road. That's not gravel.
Yeah.
Gravel you sink into, you have to put out a substantial more power. This is not a gravel race. It's really interesting to see Keegan over there.
Yeah. So it's bullshit. We're all just saying
Yeah.
it's bullshit. Because
Well,
we're
UCI
probably not going
is.
to win, so we're taking our toys and we're going home.
Yeah, exactly.
but you have to run a gravel bike. No, you don't. They
You
ran
don't.
Canyon Canyon Ultimates last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
It's a stupid thing.
And Vermeersch won it on a road bike.
No, it's a stupid thing.
Yeah.
Vermeersch won it on a road bike, and same
Yeah.
with
Paulina.
Yeah, Paulina won it. on
And
the
who
road
was
bike.
right there with him?
Daniel Oss.
Peter's guy. Yeah, Daniel Oss.
Yeah, who I hope does well again this year.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see Daniel Oss in rainbow bands.
He could have some.
Mhm.
Is he still going?
He is.
He's still holding on. Wow.
Well, I'm gonna give a little shout out since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Local guy, he's over there. He just flew yesterday. Stu.
Stu?
Yeah, he's doing the world. So I'll get his feedback because he
It would
did
be interesting.
nationals down in, was it Arkansas? I think it was, or Alabama, one of the two. Arkansas, I think.
I think it's Arkansas.
No, it's a stretch.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm just making sure.
So anyway, he did that, and he's done the Canadian one up top. So
How do you do in
He's
Canada?
I think he got in. I think he podiumed. I think so.
Jeez.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's 5th at nationals.
Wow.
So, yeah. So he's doing worlds.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm switching back to gravel.
I'm full
Go
on
ahead.
privateer on my new bike.
Privateer. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I need a race gravel
I
bike.
do.
I do. Mine is not that. It's the one I used on the
That's
bike
why I
packing
just
trip,
switched.
and it was comfortable, which
Mhm.
means it's not a race bike.
Mm-mm.
The Tour of Lombardy, or Il Lombardia, is also this weekend, closing out the World Tour, 238K. Paul, I asked to defer to you because you usually have a kind of a pretty good perspective on a lot of these races, and you're our local closest thing we can get to a European, expert on things like that, and so tell us about the race, especially people like David who are going, huh?
I was going to ask if I could get a course preview first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I pick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that'll
it is.
change.
It is usually a hill climber, not necessarily, but a punchy rider.
Yeah.
Somebody who wins Liège Bastogne Liège. Are you familiar with that one? Do I have to describe?
Yeah,
that
can
one
you
too?
start with that one too?
Somebody usually
it's-
known as like winning 2 back-to-back Grand Tours,
Yeah.
probably the best rider of the year.
Yeah.
That guy will probably do it.
Okay.
So the people have won it probably that Philippe Gilbert's won it a couple of times.
He doesn't know
Yeah,
who
no
that is.
idea.
You don't?
Yes, I do.
I knew he
Todd-
did.
Yeah.
Todd
See how he went? He went.
But also,
Really quiet.
Esteban Chavez
Uh-huh.
has never won a tour, but small little Colombian. He's actually won it.
Yeah.
He won it in 2016. So, I mean, it can. There's there's one climb that's the steepest part is 27 degrees,
Oh, geez.
but I think it averages like 11.
Did
So
Valverde
there's-
ever win this one?
God, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he has. No,
No.
Yeah, he might have. I could be wrong. I don't recall.
This is
So it is called the race of the fallen leaves.
Yeah.
And originally started in 1905, and it was Milan to Milan. They went down into that section where they are now. Now it starts in this year in Como, so it goes around the lake and stuff. My little brother actually watched it go by when he lived in Lake.
really.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He says, "Hey, what big race?" It was just like went right by.
You're like,
Yeah. What are you talking about?
yeah.
So,
Oh, man.
there's only been the biggest winner was Fastio Coppi. You don't even know who that is.
No.
That was in the 50s, the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
Paul wants to go back
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
50s,
then
60s.
not too many Italians have dominated that, but the Belgians are pretty close, and I think the French both have 12 wins, with each of them. And yeah, it can be like rainy, nasty weather, and it can be beautiful. It's a beautiful part of Italy.
Yeah.
Going down, it's just stunning.
Especially in
So-
fall.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
So we can all probably looking at our start lists here. By the way, I found a really cool website just called cyclingstartlist.com, and this is great because none of the other main sites had a preliminary start list. So I mean, there could be some errors on this, but at least I got something other than like, yeah, we'll
One
let
person.
you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm sure that all of us have circled already at least one of the following names: Remco Evenepoel, Tadej Pogacar, and Primož Roglic.
No, none of them.
You haven't circled.
He never
any of them.
does.
Yeah, because you never win at this.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
Circled all of them.
we'll just all you did. That's all
Those are
three.
the three.
Those are the three. Okay. Yeah. So I just outed Sam's picks. Does anybody have somebody other than that? For example, I picked Remco. I picked Tadej, but I picked Pavel Sivakov because I watched him today, and the race I can't recall the name of, but it was first of all, he did incredibly well, and why am I drawing a blank on him? This guy who rides for EF,
Carapaz.
yes, Richard Carapaz rode brilliantly today, and I would almost pick him. He rode, he was hammering today. So I just picked Pavel Sivakov just to give France another winner.
I would like to just, since those three are dominant and everything, I'm going to throw out two that I'd like to see just because. And I would say Thibaut Pinot. No, I pick anyone. I'll pick Thibaut Pinot as winning. And Julian,
cool. And he's
Julian Alaphilippe. Yeah, just his last year, and then Julian coming back from his injury. That'd be
a tough
cool.
year.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see him do well.
He was aggressive today.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
He was up there. Yeah. So I think that those two would probably be who I'd like to see.
Yeah.
Do I think they're going to win? Not necessarily.
I picked Primoz, Tadej, and Remco, so there goes that. But
there we go.
I think somebody to watch out for is second place from last year, Enric Mas. Mm-hmm. He can hold the climb pretty well, and he showed a little bit of form in the Vuelta.
He's got a hatchet to bury too.
Yeah, I don't think that he's got I don't think he has the punch like Remco and Tadej and Primoz, but I'd love to see him be second again.
Yeah. I'm going to go with David next because it'll probably be really quick.
Well, because I picked Tadej in, I had Remco, and then you mentioned the preference of climbers, and I switched to Primoz. And is Romain Bardet a bad choice?
No, actually, he loves this race.
He loves this kind of stuff. That's wow.
Look at you.
You said the climbing thing, and I readjusted.
Look
okay,
at you. And he put up a lot of fight at the Vuelta, so not a bad choice.
Thank you. Continue, please.
What are you doing, you moron?
Volley.
I picked Primoz, of course, because he's flying. And Tadej, you can't bet against him. Did not pick Remco because he'll have flashbacks of when he had his huge crash there.
Oh, shit. I forgot that was this race.
Oh, that's this.
Yeah, he would have won that one, too. Yeah, he probably wouldn't have.
Yeah, he didn't have the bike handling skills.
Yeah.
But I went with Felix, as we call it, Gall. That's just my dark horse. He had a stage win in the Vuelta, and that team really could use a win. So
yeah,
just throw it out there.
All right, there we go. It's out there. And now we move on with our quick tips brought to us by Ambassador Cycling and, of course, the one and only Sam Waples. Were we going with the hips? We were going to,
hips.
Grabbing in the hips. We did have some people who were, deal with hip issues and things like that. And I'm sure it can... I don't even want to get into saddle width issues in terms of sit bones and things like that, where that comes about. Mm-hmm. But people who are dealing with that, what do you associate with? How do you? What are the multitude of ways that it can be remedied?
Yeah, and I thought of this as well, just because I've had several of these, and hip issues are pretty common. You hit it with saddle width. That's totally a common issue because depending upon if the saddle's too narrow. You'll be rocking side to side in the saddle, and if it's too wide, you'll get hamstring pain. So yeah, saddle's a big one. But honestly, I actually had a guy who I've done a couple of fits on, and he was actually not. It wasn't the bike. I kept looking through all the numbers. I'm like, the bike is not the problem. It's that he just doesn't have the hip range of motion, and so that's it's kind of like you with your shoulders, right?
Yeah.
We have to do something off of the bike to remedy the issue. And for him, it was just, doing a lot of, there's this thing called lower cross syndrome. And that's PT world. And it's just muscle imbalances. And so he's picture perfect for that. You get tight hip flexors. Tight
Paul just raised his hand.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You know what it is. And so, it's fixing those muscle balances with a remedy of stretching, right? And those tight muscles, and then strengthening.
I got to go back to yoga, don't I?
God! I know. You can't skip it.
Yeah.
But so a lot of the those hip issues definitely worth start with the bike if you're having pain on the bike. But if it's not going away, after you get a bike fit, you probably need to go down the world of PT. That's probably going to be more of the issue.
Damn it. I just wanted a quick,
I know.
hey, tweak this. you
Yeah,
know.
so and that's a really good point too.
Put
Take
your brake
this
levers
pill.
in.
Yeah,
you know?
well, and so that's
yeah.
like part of it, right? Because like for you to kind of help with that, we rotated the levers in. That
Yeah,
helps with your
yeah.
shoulders. A quick like fix for your hips is technically if you would move your saddle forward and or do like a shorter crank length, it
Yeah.
opens up the hips, and like shorter crank length means that at the top of the pedal stroke, you're not closing down your hip as much.
Sure.
So there are those, solutions to fix it quickly.
It never ceases to amaze me how many people just go with the saddle that came with the bike,
Mm-hmm.
and that is such a bad decision.
Well, and crank length. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
crank length,
yeah.
like, that is a whole nother topic to get into.
That's the
because-
one we needed to address.
Yeah,
too.
because,
Yeah.
like, I mean, so many people just go, oh, well, that's standard for this. It's like, who decided that that's the standard
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
People's body, like, where your length is in your legs is totally different. Mine's all in my tibias. It's not in my femurs. I could go for a shorter crank.
I sold a bike a little while ago to a dude that helped me finance the David's personal closet, the pisser. And it had 180 millimeter cranks on it.
It's insane. I still like but I was telling
Big
you guys.
circles, maybe. And it was a mountain bike, so which means I hit every
That's
rock.
insane.
Yeah,
It was on a
every
mountain
rock.
bike?
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I saw 190s, but that was a road bike.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, moving on. Ask Dr. David.
Don't say it
Ask
like that.
Dr. David. No, I bust his chops because he accused me of cheating on the beer mile.
Well,
it's just
you were
like-
using kilometers. Those are shorter. A lot.
Our friend Terry brought in a question talking about the fact that we've got these high carb fueling options, these high carb supplements that are coming around, and while many people are finding it incredibly beneficial in their rides, there are concerns about health issues and long-term health issues. Like anything, I guess we could say, too much of anything would probably not be good. I don't know, because I just keep drinking beer and tell them to shut up.
I think Bender's had too much carbs.
Bender has had too much carbs. He's upstairs, freaking out, ready to go do a 100-miler with Keegan. But does anybody here use the high carb fuel? Sam does.
Yep.
You do, and
From scratch, yeah, it's
you do.
amazing.
And you like it.
Yeah, but it does depend on the day, and like David can get into the if you do overdo it, like your gut slows down and it's hard to digest. Like I can't do bottle after bottle of that. Like
Really?
I would do one and then I'd switch to like water or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But it does kind of help fuel the long.
Yeah, because it's like a
efforts.
slow burn.
I haven't done any of it yet, so I don't even know.
I think you might benefit from it
Really?
because it's
Done like
long,
a drug.
I haven't done it.
I haven't done it,
I
man.
haven't shot it up, bro.
but it's a long
First one's
chain
free.
of amino acids, so it's like it slowly breaks down.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So
Okay. David, talk to us, and I don't have my phone to tell my wife to shut the dog up. So, what are your thoughts on these high carb supplements and health risks, kidneys?
Yeah. So the issue I see with high carb supplements is that a lot of us are going to overdo it because carbs have very favorable feedback cycles in the brain, and you like carbs, and your body responds well to carbs in the moment. But overdoing it with carbs in the long run, even on an exercise or during an activity, puts you at risk for insulin resistance or decreased insulin sensitivity, diabetes. So even in an exercise setting, they have looked at people who do high carb, low fat versus low fat, high carb. In most of the studies are in people doing 60 minutes of exercise. So in that short of an interval, there's no benefit to doing high carb supplements. You have ample glycogen stores in your liver and your muscles. If you're eating appropriately, you don't need to be doing high carb drinks for a 1 hour exercise. That being said, you will see an improvement on long-term exercise because your muscles, your liver, you'll break down all your glycogen, you need sugar.
Yeah.
So you will see a benefit with high carb drinks over the long run. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you still. Anytime you're drinking a high carb supplement and spiking your blood sugar, you are producing insulin. And, for us insane athletes doing this for multiple hours a day, just because you're exercising and producing insulin to push it into your muscles doesn't mean that you're not producing too much insulin, which is the underlying issue with type 2 diabetes, is that you're producing too much insulin in response to the carbs. The big issue, I think, is the carb loading theory that's been around forever.
Yeah.
Like, you should eat this huge pasta dinner before your meal to replenish your glycogen stores. We eat like 1,000 grams of carbohydrates to replenish 50 grams of glycogen in our body or whatever, or to top off the stores. And then you just have a ton of sugar, and you do put yourself at risk with these high carb diets over time, especially for, your average cyclist. I'm sure the pro guys can eat whatever the heck they want. I mean, they're working like, they're not going to get diabetes. They're working as hard as they can all day, every day. But for your average cyclist, especially, my take-home point here is, especially under 1 hour, you should just be using electrolytes. You really should not be using a high carb mixture for exercise in which you can use your own glycogen stores and then eat a normal dinner afterwards. And then even in terms of preparing for a race, I would focus on a balanced meal with a healthy amount of fat and protein as well. Not just carbs, not just spaghetti. So
Cool.
I do think that the risk is real for type 2 diabetes in athletic individuals who have a preference for carbs and beer. Because we all like carbs and
You
beer.
had to throw the beer in there.
Hi, everybody.
Yep.
That's good to know.
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Yeah.
My name's
Exactly.
Pat Polter.
Okay, let's go to the picks. Jackson gets to do the picks this week. And Jackson picked some interesting shit. Some really cool shit, but also a couple of them that were like, wait, what? And I think the first one is definitely the wait, what? These are all links on our homepage that take you to Amazon. If you don't like Amazon, you can go someplace else, but we get a couple shekels when you click those links. The Govee 100-foot LED strip lights, smart lights.
Right.
So this is when you sent me these links today. I was like, okay, I need an explanation of why these lights are of Jackson's choosing.
So obviously, my beginning explanation of this is not, is you don't have to get these lights. These are $72 for 100 feet. That's very expensive. You can get 100 feet for like $30, and still comes with an app and all that stuff.
They're circling this bar right now.
Right, exactly. Those will do great. But what I like about these is they have an app where you can actually set them to certain scenes. So you can make it look like in your room that there's leaves falling, or that snow is falling, or that you can have like a dance party vibe. It's really cool. These, I'm not joking, are like some of the coolest lights I've ever seen in my life. But also, I was thinking, seasonally, we are going inside a lot more. We're riding a lot more inside as well. And the mental effect that lighting can have on you is insane. Today in my classroom, we turned the fluorescent lights off, and we turned on lamps and like more soft lighting, and it doesn't stress the kids out as much. And I think if you look down at our bar, they're flashing right now. So like it's a light source that you can put out there to like get yourself in the mode. And I think that I do this. I have like a different brand of light strip above my head in the room that I train in, and it gets me in that mode of like, all right, it's training time, it's dark in here, I don't really have to like use my senses except to just focus on what I'm doing. And I really like colored lights. I sometimes train in greens and blues and reds.
Wow.
And there is actually, in case you're wondering, red lighting is the only source of light that will not interrupt your REM cycle. Found that out because I have red lights on before I go to sleep. So I really recommend just changing the color of your lights. Yeah.
Roxanne.
She didn't have to put it on.
red
Though.
light.
She didn't have to walk the streets for money.
Yeah.
But I recommend getting a little bit of a different color texture of light in your room when you're training. It's fun, and it changes the mindset.
You know what?
And do some
I dig
dubstep.
it.
Yeah, some of these can actually
These
bounce to
will
your
react.
music.
These react to the music. But
Yeah.
but if you think about it, creating an environment that you want to walk into that has
important.
a mindset that isn't a cold concrete basement that is just depressing as shit,
As long as Maverick's on the screen.
seriously.
You know it's true.
Highway to the danger zone, baby. Okay, yeah. Does anybody do anything like that, or do you just set it up in a room? Well, Paul, never mind. Tony, I have to answer. But I see what you're saying.
That's
setting up that
that's
environment,
and they're a little sticky, and you don't really see them if you have white walls.
They
it's
apply
great.
everywhere.
I love them.
exactly. So okay, next off, the Pro Bike Tool 1/4-inch click torque torque wrench set. As you can see, I have purchased them on. It'll show that I have purchased this in my days.
Right.
Quality of tools versus value is, I guess, a question, because these are $70.
Right. So this is not the torque set that I personally have. I have one from Giant.
Yeah.
Former show sponsor.
Thanks, Karsten.
Yeah, seriously. And it's great, especially for somebody who has an aero bike and who can't put their own through axle in without a torque wrench.
Yeah, you can put your bike on the rack without a
exactly.
torque. Yeah.
And so it
I
is.
just have a quick release.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
But I love it. I never fear cracking my frame, unlike the guy who has rim brakes in the room. But
guys,
no, that's
guys.
well,
we do. Yeah, several of us.
But not to rub it in. But I think it's very necessary in this day and age now, working on any sort of carbon bike. You don't want to have to stress yourself out, whether it be this or whether it be park tool. It doesn't. It's.
I swear my carpals click at 5 Newton meters. After
Okay.
so many years.
Yeah.
Like,
I can tell when 10's gonna
That's
come
5.
up. Yeah.
David.
Does it do his carpals click at 5? No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
He's been doing
no.
this since he
You're
was
just calling
5.
him out on his bullshit.
He's been making this kind of shit up since he was 5.
You know what? I have that one, and I've also bought a couple different other kind of torque setups. So there's smaller ones. I bought one from Silka it's a small little unit, but I said small little unit. But I do
Speaking of white
like
shorts.
it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, is that what your wife said? Because she was looking.
Love that one.
But no, it's for the bang for the buck. It's a good set. It is a good set. I'm sure everybody else here has something farther higher quality, but if it just that feedback. There are a couple T-wrench style ones where you're cranking it and you have to look at the base of the shaft.
There we go.
And you have to make sure you're only going to a certain number, and I hate that one.
Yeah,
I
the
need
braking
that,
ones
I
are
need that
better.
kink, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a good purchase for $70. That's a great way to get into it. And Jackson, what are we doing with an Apple Watch on Amazon?
So
It's only a link.
I'm going to say this right now, as I know that it throws us a couple shekels.
Yeah.
Do not order it off of Amazon.
Nah, don't.
By all means, do not go to this website to order an Apple Watch.
So I'll delete this link.
Yes, because that's a dangerous game to play. You're probably not going to get a real Apple Watch.
Yeah.
This is more of a
It's
suggestion
an
to our
Amazon
listeners.
renewed store too.
Right.
Yeah, don't fucking buy this.
So do not.
Yeah,
I just
buy
put
it
this
from
on
Apple.
here to buy it from Apple, because I put it on there to suggest it, because I think it is, and Whoop's not a show sponsor, so I can say this. I have found within my own experiences that the Apple Watch has much more accuracy personally than the Whoop did. I found that a lot of the numbers that I was experiencing were somebody who never exercises with my Whoop, and then now switching over to an alternative with this athletic app that you can get on your Apple Watch.
I think I talked about that on the show.
Yeah,
didn't I?
exactly.
Athletic, yeah.
It's showing me
great.
It's showing me numbers that I would expect to see, and I know everybody's thinking, "Oh, you're seeing better numbers, so that's why you like it more." But for somebody who works out regularly as I do, I expect to see different numbers rather than somebody who never does. And so I think the Apple Watch is really cool because it's very accurate on a lot of cases. I'm not saying it's no.
Yeah.
You're not going to the hospital with this thing. But it also...
I did.
Exactly. I was going to say it.
It told me, get your ass to the emergency room.
And
Yeah,
it has a fall sensor, so if you take a fall on your bike, it will, if you don't answer it with a specific amount of time, it'll actually send information to loved ones. It will, if you set it up right, it'll have your health ID to first responders. Yeah. It's a really powerful tool, and I don't think that a lot of people take advantage of it. Of course, this says $301. It's probably more expensive than that. It's an expensive purchase.
Yeah, it's way
if you have the money, I suggest it, but don't stress yourself out. You don't need an Apple Watch.
I've been a fan of it. You know, I was both wrists. I still have dry skin on this hand from this arm from my Whoop, and I loved it. And if you're into that, awesome. Don't I'm not bashing that product, but what the watch has done for me after finding that app has been really, really helpful. So, do any of you guys use any of those digital? I see a G-Shock there. I see nothing on there. Paul, you
Straight
sporting a watch?
analog.
No? Really? Okay. No training, digital training outside of what's on Paul's. Like he barely even remembers
My
to turn
only
on
knock
his
against any
Wahoo.
smartwatches, I really don't like to be connected to that stuff. Like
Really?
I don't want and I know you can turn it off, and I'm just like, I don't want to see that like text message, all that stuff on my watch all the time.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Like I have nothing against them. I think that they are super slick. My dad used it for his heart stuff.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Just
Yeah.
not personally.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. None of you guys.
I don't need any more stimulus at work.
Mm-hmm.
The phone's ringing. If my wrist is vibrating too, I'm gonna lose it. So.
His gray hair is going to quadruple.
I can't take it.
I did see a couple grays.
Oh, he's got
Yeah,
gray
look
in
at the
there.
beard, man.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like early graying.
He's 2 years
Stress.
younger.
Someday, a woman's gonna walk up to you and call you a silver fox, and you're
Oh,
just gonna be
Danielle
like,
calls me cinnamon sugar all the time.
cinnamon
wow.
sugar.
Red hair,
Yeah.
white,
Nice.
cinnamon sugar. Yeah.
Better. Than,
You guys are
Wow.
gross.
the only thing you can hope for is watermelon sugar, and then you're
Watermelon
yeah,
sugar, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
No,
Is that
that's a
better?
He doesn't.
very, very different reference.
Yeah, I know, but he doesn't know his musical references.
No,
I
he
do
doesn't.
not know.
Yeah, the hidden
Harry
meaning
Styles.
behind
You
that.
seriously need to fucking get out.
It's Harry Styles. It's Harry Styles. Okay, I'll say it.
Yeah,
I
it's
couldn't
Harry
hold it back
Harry
anymore.
Styles. Okay, I'll look into
exactly.
it. I
So
would like
there
to
we
get
go.
out sometime.
All right, you guys, that brings us to an end of another week. Please be sure to like and subscribe our show on your podcast feed as well as on our YouTube channel. Every subscriber helps the show better. I know it sounds like I'm begging, but maybe I am. But every time one of you guys clicks the like, sends us a review, anything like that, and joins us along with YouTube, it helps it out. It helps the cause. So. Does anybody know where the Gravel Worlds are going to be broadcast this weekend? I don't even
it
know.
not
GCN possibly.
GCN's gonna have it?
They were still working on that.
Okay, but probably via VPN, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's I can't tell you that.
Because if not, it's probably Little Caesars Pizza ads.
Because I'm not sure. I was sitting there. I've got a couple of things running through my head. They said that only in Belgium that you won't be able to get it. But
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's
That's weird.
it. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Try
that
it.
makes
Belgium, you can't charge for TV cycling. It's all free.
That's cool.
Yeah,
What a country.
Yeah.
it is. It is the mecca, my friends.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I'm not a big fan. I've been trying to cut all my monthly subscription things down. I've dropped like 8 this week alone, but I will never drop GCN. The coverage. I hope they stay financially stable and can keep that going. It's so nice to be able to catch these races. So, yeah, you guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David, you didn't use the pisser.
I'm about to. I'm
Okay.
trying to.
I'm
look
too.
cool.
I'm starting to swivel
Sword
too.
fight.
His
Yeah,
legs
I'm
are
cool.
crossed.
I'm starting to swivel
Yeah.
too. Yeah. All
I'm
right.
squeezing over here.
I guess that's it. We'll catch you guys next week.
Yep.